Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Redneck Ways. Hope everybody's fine out there in YouTube land. Hope everybody's doing well and having a wonderful Christmas weekend. Doing pretty good here in old Kentucky. It's really warm here. It's probably about 62 degrees outside, which feels pretty strange for Kentucky weather. Usually it's about at least 20 degrees, and sometimes we get a little bit of snow on Christmas, but it definitely does not look like it's going to be this year of 2023. I just, guys, wanted to make a little video and kind of, like I said, tell you all Merry Christmas. And also, I thought maybe I'd make a video on my younger days. I was born in 1974. That makes me a Generation X. And that was a really good year. There was a lot of great stuff going on, and it was really exciting to be an American. Everybody was patriotic, and everybody loved America, and it was just a very special time. Christmas was a very special time, and you could just feel it. One thing, like I was talking about the weather, it's like 6 degrees here today. Back then, we would have major snowstorms here in Kentucky, and I remember me and my dad and mom, we go out and build our snowmen and have a great time digging the car, literally having to dig the car and truck out of the snow to go to the store. I remember many Christmases like that. Back then, Dad was driving an old I think it was a 1969 or 1970 Ford pickup truck, probably F-150. Can't really remember on what size it was, but I think it was a 1F50. It was black. It had the cheaper hubcaps on it, which I think still today pretty cool on them. But yeah, it was black. I believe it was a long bed. But really, I really remember that truck. We used to, around Christmas time, like I said, it would snow a lot, and we would take that to a store. And the stores we would go to is a lot different than today. Today we have Dollar General and we have Walmart. Back then we had a lot more choices. Our favorite store around Christmas time was Hills. They had a slogan, "Hills is where the toys are," and they always had all the toys of the time, all the really fun toys and the toys that we see on our commercials, on our Saturday morning cartoons. And they always had like big displays, like almost every aisle they would have like a cap of it, and they would have like He-Man or whatever was in style at the time, and they would have like this whole major scene made out of the figures and everything. Really neat. And they have like plastic wrapped around it so it couldn't get disturbed. But that was always really neat, just to go look at all their hard work they really done to display all that neat stuff. And I remember every year in the very front of the store where you would check out, they have this big old stocking up on the wall, and they would have a coloring contest. And I can't really remember the picture that you call it. I think it was like Santa Claus or something. But whoever had colored the best picture would win, and they would win this huge stocking. And I'm sure today it probably looked a lot smaller than what it did when I was a kid, but it was pretty big. I think it was about 6 foot tall. And every year, our church would always have a big old Christmas play. I remember that. That was another great time for Christmas. And they had made they made their own set. The fellers got together and they built like sections, and it made like a room, and it looked like, once they had it all together, it looked like a house, inside of a house, like a living room or whatever. A really nice set. And they had some of the best Christmas plays there at my church. I definitely miss those days. It was just something, and it was fun to be in them. I think I was in them. I never had very many lines because I couldn't never remember stuff very well back then, and I can't really remember a lot now. But as far as lines, but I think I had like a one or two parter in it, you know, and it was always neat and always fun, and it's something I really do miss. Um, Also, we on our TVs, we all had our TVs, and a lot of us just had rabbit ears, and got our local stations like ABC, NBC, CBS. But at the time, on those three or four major networks, that was all your best shows. And every year, CBS or NBC, they would always have a Christmas special, and I think I like the Christmas specials now that I'm older, because back then, you know, I couldn't really get some of Bob Hope's jokes stuff. But I really enjoy watching them older videos now, and some of them. I love the Johnny Cash. If y'all get time, Johnny Cash has some of the greatest Christmas specials. The 1977 Christmas special was awesome. It was right after when Elvis had passed, and him and Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Roy Orbison, they came out and sung a song dedicated to Elvis Presley. It was really neat. Kind of give you a little bit of goosebumps. But yeah, that's something kind of sad today, which I could be mistaken because I don't watch much cable television anymore. But I don't think we have those wholesome Christmas specials nowadays, and it's really sad, and it really breaks my heart, to tell you the truth. That was a very special time. It really was. Now I'm gonna get into some of the toys that we had back in '74 on up till about '80. Saying some these are ones that I actually had, and they are super neat. They were the neatest toys ever, and I still, at times when I go to flea markets and stuff, I still try to find and pick up a few of these older toys, and some of them are pretty hard to find. One of them that I dearly loved was my hot cycle. It was green. I'll put pictures in this video and show you all. It was a green hot cycle, and it had like this little this little thing in the middle. Had a little button, and I don't know what it's for, but well, it's throw air. It was like an air conditioner. I don't know why you would have it on a hot cycle, but needless to say, it was pretty cool back then. You push that little button, air fly out. And also, we had a Stretch Armstrong, what they call Stretch Armstrong, and it was like a rubber type guy, had gel inside of him, and you could stretch and stretch, which I didn't have the actual Stretch Armstrong. I had the monster version of Stretch Armstrong. He was green, and like I said, I'll post pictures of these toys I'm talking about, and you just stretch and stretch them. And me and my cousins, we played with that thing so much it actually started leaking the goo that was inside it, so Mom had to trash it after a while. Also, one of my favorite toys was it's called Little People, and you all probably had them if you're around my age. There's the little tiny people that are round, and like all the toys, you could set them down in a hole. And I had the industrial set, and see, we had 8K steel right here beside of us here in Ashland, and it had that big crane that goes across back and forth. Well, that Little People set had that, and I thought that was really neat. At the time, that's where my dad was working at. And also, guys, we had the Stretch Armstrong. We had our Viewmasters. I had the top. It was really cool. I don't know if it was a Viewmaster or not, but it was the one looked like a camera, and you held it and you went like, you know, you wrote it, and it was like a cartridge that slid down in it, and it had real film on it. It was really neat. And if I can, I'll put a picture of that in here too. And also, guys, we had this little car maze looking thing, and it was called, let me look here on my notes. It's called Drive Yourself. That's what it's called. And that was one of my favorite games, and it was so simple. It was this little game. I think it took 2 little batteries, and it had paper inside of a scroll, and it go round and round. You know, you had a little gas pedal and you would push up, and you had a little steering wheel, and it had like maze that you had to go through, and you couldn't hit the barn or whatever. Just the neatest little thing. And now looking at today, it's so simple, but man, we had a lot of fun with that. Of course, our Matchbox cars we loved and all that. Also, we had these things called waterful games, and that was really fun. It was like a basketball type game. You filled up with water, and you had two little buttons down the bottom, and you push them and you try to make the basket. That was a really neat game that we spent hours on top of hours on. And these are toys, you know, kind of what I played with when in my younger days. And then, you know, as time went on, we got into our bicycles, which we had banana seats and big old wide slick tires on the back. It was just awesome. Those are the most beautiful looking bikes to this day that I have ever seen. And trying to find a boy's bicycle still around, I wish you good luck, because we rode the heck out of them. You can find some girl bikes, 1970s bikes, but you're not going to find very many boy bikes from then. We used to ramp, jump, you name it, we did it. Now, going on up, I think I was probably about 10 or 11 when Stompers came out, 4x4 Stompers. That's around the time that Bigfoot and Gravedigger and all that was getting big in the monster trucks. And Stomper 4x4s came out, and I'm telling you, it took one AA battery. They had 4 rubber tires, all 4 of them pulled. That was the most fun that a kid could possibly have. And they sold a couple little kits. One of them I had was a mountain. It was a big styrofoam mountain that your Stomper would go around like up to the top, and get to the top, and it go through a cave, and then it would come back through, and it come back down and come to the bottom. And I probably put 100,000 miles on that Stomper, and probably about $500 worth of AA batteries. But yeah, that was a big old thing. And if you haven't seen those, I'll put a picture. Like I said, I'll put a picture of everything down there. But yeah, our department stores and everything was so much different. A lot of them had like little restaurants in the back. I think Ames had a deli in the back, and they had, what I can remember, was pretty good sandwiches and fries and stuff like that. Hills, they had the most awesomest place up front to eat. They sold popcorn. They sold your slushies, your slush puppies. I mean, man, that stuff, if you never drink a slush puppy, a cherry slush puppy, you do not know what you're missing. And I don't know, I think the slush puppy still exists, but I don't think the flavor is the same, because it was a very tart cherry back then. But also, guys, another great thing I enjoyed in my earlier days was my rocking horse. And you never know. And what I used to do, there used to be a show called Hee Haw, and I would sit in front of Hee Haw, watch Hee Haw. I was probably about 7 or 8, and rock on my horse. And I'll show you guys sometimes you'll get lucky and you find some of your old toys just pushed away in the ditch. And that's what I found the other day. No, hold on, I'll show you. I don't know if it paused or not. Probably not. Alrighty, guys. I found this over in the ditch the other day. Somebody had just threw it out, and I'm going to paint it. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Maybe I could paint it, put like a stick through it, and sell it down at the flea market for like a Ferris wheel. Some people like, you know, decorate with them. But I found this old rocking horse, which brought back so many memories as a kid. I rocked this thing many, many miles. So you never know when your old childhood memory is going to come around the corner, and this one is right there in a ditch. So yeah, I was pretty happy to find that. It brought back a lot of memories. Alrighty, get this adjusted in a little bit here. I don't know if I'm in the camera or not. But yeah, as we got older, the technology started setting in. And we got, me and my brother, we got our first Atari. And we had a blast of that. We would play Atari a lot. And especially in the summertime. We'd play Atari when it was too hot, and then go out and ride our bikes in the evening when it cooled down. And then especially in the winter too, that's all we played was Atari. And then after Atari, we got our first Nintendo, and I mean it just escalated to what we got now. And games today is just unreal. But yeah, I don't think I would want to be born no other time than 1974. I think I have one of the best childhoods that a human being could possibly have, and I'm very happy, and I feel very fortunate to got to spend that time period in my life. So, but I thought I'd just make this little video and kind of tell you all a little bit about my childhood and stuff, and some of the neat little toys that we had and we loved and played and we dared. And we and all of our toys, we played them to death. So there's not very many of these left. When we got a toy, we played it. I mean, it wasn't just grabbing hold of it, looking at it for 5 minutes, setting it down, and never go back to it. It got played and wore out. So that was the way it was. But I hope you guys, like I said, have a merry, merry, merry Christmas, and I hope everybody's doing well and everybody's safe, and I hope everybody has everything they need. I really do. So I want to thank you guys. And my last video, I really noticed that a lot of y'all liked it, and I really appreciate all the views on that. And I'm going to get out there as soon as I possibly can and find us another great abandoned place. Hopefully I can. There's not a lot more. They're tearing everything down around me, it seems like. And you know how the future is. The future must march on. And so there's not a lot of the old stuff still there. And if it is, there's somebody ready to tear it down. So hopefully I can beat them to the punch, and we can find us another cool abandoned place, guys. So, like I said one more time, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas, and thank you all so much for watching my videos. Thank you, guys. And until next time, I'll see you right here, Redneck Ways. Bye, guys.